Hey guys, given your many requests and despite I've already done 2 videos, you can check in the playlist here in the card on military units. I decided to do the in-depth analysis unit by unit with all the score and give you a certain ranking. I will organize this video in a series of 3. The first episode is today. I will focus with infantry, melee and counter, and then I will deal with cavalry and with range in 2 other episodes. As usual, you access the unit menu. To access the menu, I believe you need to unlock the first chapter, Last of the Romans. And then here are all the units that you have available. And then, as I said in other video, you have 6 types: melee infantry, counter, melee cavalry, charging cavalry, range infantry, and range cavalry, which is the most rare. You have in the top right a handbook. I'm not clear why it only displays selected nations, not all of them. I thought that maybe you unlock them as you progress, but actually I checked, there are some nations I never play with and other I did. So if someone has an hypothesis, just drop a comment in this video. Anyway, from the handbook you can see the nations. Some are poor, like Wessex, as only the armies beside the types are distinguished in 6 levels. Level 1 is the most basic, 2, 3, and then many of the poor armies don't go beyond level 3. If you go in the powerhouse, like England, you see they have up to level 6. They have a musketeer, and they have a few level 5 units across the different army types, level 4 and so on. I also showed already in a video, but I will just show again that you have a recruit section. Whenever you have 10 mercenary cards, you see here level is 5, you can draw the units. If you have only, you can draw, let's say, 10 cards at a time. That will guarantee you, as you see in the top right, the acquisition rate, at least 1 out of 10 cards is an advanced unit, so level 6 or 5, it doesn't specify. Actually, there you go. You can see which one they are. So out of 10, 1 will be one of these guys. Nice. And then you have 4 out of the medium group. Okay, these are normally level 3, 4. And then the normal are really the basic guys. Okay, so you have a legion, wood raiders, and so on. Same, by the way, for the gear. You have advanced, medium, and normal. In the advanced, you can see that's what the one you have. So we'll go back to the unit section. Let's start with the melee infantry. When you go from the screen, you cannot see the details, but if you click on handbook, you see that the armies are always the same. So in melee infantry, you start with the swordman. And if you click on information, you can see the key data, which is the size of the legion, so it's a 500 strong, the population it consumes, 5 units of population. When your army is higher than the population, then your tax become negative and you don't make income in every turn. Then you have the attack, defense, the counter, probability of counter attack, the chance of dealing damage to the back row enemies, very complex sometimes, the easy tech algorithm and language, and then mobility. And then the units have up to 4 skills at the bottom. The lower have normally 2. One is about damage given, the second damage received. Every military type is best against another military type. So the melee infantry is best against the archers, okay, the range attacks, range infantry. So therefore, when you are in battle, you might have seen some of my video, I always select the unit against the one I can give biggest damage. Okay, so enough of context, let's go through the guys. And just remember, when you see from your menu, your own menu, you have 2 groups of armies. The top 5, these are a regular army that you can recruit in the city. The bottom group, these are mercenaries. You can get in a castle. You see there is a castle symbol. So very important you understand. So So look, normally mercenary tend to be stronger than the regular, which is odd. For me, when I look at melee infantry, the best unit, in my opinion, is the Janissary. The Janissary, so he has, like all the other melee infantry, a legion size of 500 and a population of 5. He has the highest combination of attack defense, 256 points, particularly strong in defense. So he has a defense of 135 points, which is very high. He has a chance of counter of 20%, which is the highest in this group. And he has a regular bonus in damage, but also has a special skill, dodge, 10% probability to dodge an attack. And then is also another skill of is immune from weather condition. So if it rains or something, its mobility is not affected. Okay, so in my opinion, this is the best unit. Now we may argue number 1, number 2, but clearly is in the top, the Janissary, in the highest score of all the infantry, by the way, with 256. I put it at the second role, and by the way, you see it's locked. In order to unlock it, you need to obtain 30 units of this military unit in order to upgrade it the first time. That unlocks it. It takes time. Number 2 is a Teutonic Swordman. The Teutonic Swordman, I can show them actually in the handbook. It's nicer. There you go. Wow. So they have a combined attack defense score of 237 with an attack of 122. That's the highest melee infantry attack. The attack is expressed as an interval because it's an algorithm, there is some randomness. Defense of 115 and a damage both given and received of 20% with an additional 5% bonus with the charge. It's an extra skill. And also the Teutonic Swordmen are very useful when you attack a city because they have this special skill, surprise attack, 25% extra damage to the ramparts. So very good unit. Then for me the number 3 is the Varangian Guard, which is a total score of 216, an attack of 116. He has a slightly better counter than the Teutonic Swordman at 120%. Has a damage give also of 20% and a special bonus of charge, 35%. That's significant actually, very, very high. And a bonus in the forest. So once you are advanced in the game, you have unlocked all the units. If you have an operation happening on the forest, you use the Varangian Guard. If instead you have in the mountain, you use the Legion Spearman, for example. So keep in mind the terrain. Number 4, I put the Nordic Heavy Axeman. This special unit, by the way, I believe is the unit that amplifies the damage of Beowulf, the general. So keep also that factor in mind. Some of these units are associated with certain elite generals. So this is one. And why the Nordic are my number 4? Because they have a score of 211, so 5 points below the Varangian, but a higher attack score, 121. They have a similar 20% bonus against the range infantry, but also 20% less damage, so slightly higher, but a 10% lower 10% charge bonus versus 35% in the Varangian Guard. And he has also a roar, so lowers the enemy morale 1 point by turn. I mean, they're very scary. Number 5 is for me the two-handed swordman. Let's see if I can find them. There you go. It's a level 3 unit, so it's lower range. Indeed, its total score is 194 with an attack of 104. he has the advantage of forest mobility and half of the morale, 50% less morale from attacks from others. And then at the sixth spot only is the first regular unit, which is the elite swordsman, this guy. They have a score like the 200 swordsman, 194, slightly less attack and more defense, but they don't have any bonus. In the regular unit, they rarely have the additional skills, additional bonuses, versus the mercenary. Number 7 is also a regular unit, the shield swordsman, which has a much lower score. You're already now 166, so it's roughly 100 points less than the Janissary, with an attack of 86 and no special skills. And then I have put the Viking Raider. This unit, if you have pre-registered, I believe is the one we'll get for free. So that's why I have it unlocked. But it's much weaker than the other mercenary. It's 137 total score and 77 attack. He has a 10% bonus charge and unaffected by morale and a bonus when he's in the forest. But this is just a level 3 unit. Mercenary, by the way, doesn't have level 1. That's interesting. You have only 3 level 2. These are the units you can get in the recruit window that we saw. These are considered the basic ones. And by the way, when you see this orange sign, is because I have upgraded the unit, so it's already at level 3. It's been upgraded. Yeah, when you click upgrade, you see you need 10 more units, so I need 2 more in this case, and money to upgrade it to level 5. It's already level 4, and at level 5 in this case it will improve the defense scores. I already see a level 4, I'm already a defense of 75 versus the original unit that is 60. And the attack from 74, he actually got to 112. So also the crappier unit, if you upgrade them, they can become much better. Indeed, that's something to keep in mind because many of the advanced units, you unlock them very late in the game. And so since you accumulate very easily the token to upgrade the units, so this is the infantry token upgrade, the scarecrow. You see I have 51 of them because I don't use them a lot. Don't have many opportunity to upgrade. The Queen 10 is to upgrade the cavalry units and the target for archery for the range unit. I have really loads of them, simply because there is an imbalance between the mercenary order, which needed to draw mercenary, and the ability to upgrade the unit, the regular units, which you do by advancing into the chapter. See, if I go into my chapter, here I can upgrade the infantry guard, but you see it says I must first reach chapter 4. I've already maxed out my upgrade. Whenever you can upgrade a unit, you will see an arrow, yellow arrow, pointing to the top. Okay. Back, let me not digress. So I mentioned number 9 was for me the Legion Brigade, which is also a military mercenary unit, 134 score. It has a forest and river mobility, which is an advantage. And then the last 3 are the standard units, the enlisted swordsman, infantry guard, and a swordsman. I mean, the regular units is really straightforward. And level 1 is weaker than level 2, than level 3, and so on. So it's quite obvious. While in the mercenary, there are some close cut. You see, there are 7 units. There are 2 units for level, 2 level 3, 2 level 4, and 2 level 5. So you have to look carefully also at those bonuses. So that concludes the melee infantry. Now let's go to counter infantry. So the counter infantry, for me, the best unit is, and actually by far, is the Swiss Halberdier. They are the best. They have also all the counter infantry. They have a legion size of 500, with only one exception: the Scottish long spearmen. I don't know why this unit is 550. These guys, yeah. The Swiss Halberdier, they have a score of 225. We can see them in the mercenary view. It's nicer. There you go. Look at that. They have a score of 225 with a particularly strong defense of 135. They have the other strength is a 70% counter, which means a probability to hit the rear rows of the enemy is 70% chance. The rear row cannot counterattack you. He has a 20% damage give, and he has an important feature, which is when they counterattack, they give 20% more damage. That's very valuable, plus a mounted mobility. Number 2, I put the Legion Spearman. That's an important one because also that's Belisarius special unit. So this is the one you should apply to Belisarius. I wish for now I still have not unlocked them. I only have 10 units I gained from Rise of the Byzantine Empire, I believe. They have a score of 208, so it's lower than some of the other units. Particularly weak is relatively weak is the attack, 88 points. A counter probability of 55%, and they have a very important skill, which is the chance of multi-counter attack, plus 20%. That's a very good one. Then at the number 3, I place the Elite Spearmen. These are regular units. There you go. They're here. They are locked. So I can still show you if I'm going in there. There you go. Elite Spearmen. You need to navigate a little bit around. These guys have 193 combined points with the 83 in attack and 110 in defense, a 45% chance counter, and an extra 20% damage given to the units. The counter is against the cavalry, so 20% more damage. Number 4 is another mercenary unit. Bear with me. The Lombardy Halberdier, which are here. They have a combined score of 181, of which 81 is the average attack and 100 the defense. Have a better counter chance of 65%, and an extra benefit also of counterattack damage of 20%. So that's actually very valuable. And I may argue, I mean, they could be also third ranked with the elite over the Elite Spearmen. I mean, the two are very close. The Elite Spearmen, they have relatively higher attack defense score. These guys have more bonuses. So it depends also on the situation. If you are in the mountain, clearly, the climb feature is very useful. Number 5 is another regular military unit. They are the Shield Pikemen. We have 160 combined score, 70 attack and 90 defense. The counter infantry has always better defenses. That's the name, counter infantry. These are the units that you use to protect from a cavalry charge, because they have a benefit against cavalry, but also to protect the cities. The Shield Pikemen have a counter power of 45%, and extra damage against cavalry of 20, and a reduced damage from archery from range of 20%. Then number 6 is another mercenary unit. the heavy phalanx pikeman. This is the one I have unlocked already. I've even upgraded them several times, and if you see my battles, that's the unit I've attached to Belisarius. The heavy phalanx are just number 6, but for me is the highest unit I have currently available. They gave me a combined attack defense of 170 or a 75 attack. But of course, you have the additional attack from the counter, 45% counter, and 20% extra damage against cavalry. And they have a mountain benefit and a morale boost of 1 point every turn. Number 7, Garrison Spearman, also a mercenary unit, 147 points, and they get the benefit of forest mobility and never surrender, so they never go in morale drop. Number 8, it's a regular unit, the enlisted spearman with a 142 combined points with the 62 in attack, a 40% counter opportunity, and no additional benefits. Next is the mysterious Scottish long spearman. She is the only one with 550 units instead of the 500. The only infantry unit which has this, I don't know. The combined score is 127 with an attack of 57, a defense of 70. A counter bonus of 45%, and a benefit in both mountain and river. I mean, Scotland is clearly known for this type of landscape, and so they are trained with the terrain. And the last two, as usual, are the regular units. The spearman, number 10, and spear militia, number 11. So this is the weakest of all, with a 99 points combined, no bonus whatsoever. So you understand, again, I want to repeat the basic concept to unlock and upgrade the units. For the mercenary one, which are the better units, you use the recruit function. And again, you have the level 2, basically, here, all these 3 units, which we saw. Then you have level 3 and 4, and 5 and 6 with the cards. The regular units, every time you pass a chapter, you unlock a level, and then by using money and the whatever items the scarecrow is for infantry, you can upgrade it to the next level. Okay, so I hope you like this video. If you do, click like, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. As you see, I post a lot of both gameplay and guides, so we'll help you move in the game. Take care.